Commander Tavares, Vesper 12, reporting from inside immigrant rights resistance networks. I am submitting an updated field briefing following the fatal shooting of Renee and the nationwide protest response that followed. I will speak within Starfleet analytical standards. Even under the most permissive interpretation of events, including the possibility of indirect contact between a civilian vehicle and a federal officer, this incident raises concern under Starfleet use of force doctrine. Starfleet precedent is clear. Indirect contact does not automatically constitute a lethal threat. Vehicles are context-dependent hazards, not default weapons. Lethal force is justified only when disengagement is no longer viable. From available footage and witness accounts, the engagement window appears measured in seconds, not inevitability. On the ground, the perception is not that lethal force was unavoidable, but that it was irreversible. That distinction matters. What has intensified unrest is not the shooting alone, but the institutional response that followed. Restricted access to evidence, jurisdictional opacity, delayed transparency. Within resistance networks, these actions are interpreted as defensive closure, not procedural caution. Under Starfleet risk models, opacity following lethal force reliably accelerates civic destabilization, regardless of eventual legal findings. Commander, I want to be precise. The protest movement is large, organized, and overwhelmingly peaceful. Tens of thousands across multiple cities, broad demographic coalitions, explicit nonviolence norms, active de-escalation strategies, deliberate avoidance of escalation triggers. Organizers operate with full awareness of surveillance pressure. This is not disorder. This is civic self-organization under stress. Isolated property damage remains statistically marginal and internally discouraged. Within these networks, legitimacy is treated as a strategic asset. This is not a rebellion scenario. This is a legitimacy stress test. The central public question is no longer, was the officer legally justified? It is, can institutions explain lethal force in a way civilians recognize as proportionate, transparent, and accountable? At present, that answer is trending toward no. Despite elevated tension, my assessment remains. Civic conscience is strained but intact. Non-violent norms are holding. Public trust is damaged, not severed. The population is attempting correction, not rupture. Authoritarian drift continues, but so does principled resistance. Commander, I reiterate my earlier request, now with greater urgency. Do not downgrade this world prematurely. There is still evidence of ethical self-correction under pressure, and that remains a primary Starfleet indicator of developmental viability. Vesper 12 out.